basically our history is just that it's not documented. For them, it's a bit easier for them to trace it. Oh, this is where they started. But our history was actually stolen from us. Let's not say it was documented, but it was stolen from us. You know?
And you also have to compare the documentation of those things, compare it to the actual existence of that civilization.
And yeah, just like that, we're back.
We're back again.
We started it. It's a new year, supposedly.
Yeah, for some of you.
Yeah.
that are still in that
that
type of lifestyle.
You know.
Yeah, but for us, it's been a new year.
For a couple of months. If you listen to the podcast, you hear that we talked about the calendars and the mixing up of the dates. Yeah. But go back and do your research. So definitely. I'm your host, 013 Vanity, Fanawatuba 720, all the way in Coast City, and I'm here with.
Well, as you know, my name is the Musta, but some might say the Master. That's also fine. Welcome back, Weavers.
Yeah, he also gave him a name, guys.
Yeah.
Oh damn. Well, we got some interesting topics today. I think we should maybe start with the weather one actually.
Yeah. Because it's a hot topic right now.
Yeah.
I think it's very important we start with that and really look at it on a broader perspective than just it being a natural disaster.
I mean, one question that comes to my mind is, do you think also the government or the powers that be control the weather?
There is a possibility of simulating that in a way. Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Because I've also seen a video, I think it was on Facebook or something, where these guys launched something into the clouds and they actually got it to rain a couple of hours later.
Okay.
So that's to show you that weather can actually be manipulated.
True. A lot of things can be. Because also, side note, there's been a investigation into the moon. In terms of, is it really the moon that we naturally know as it being the moon, or is it a simulation for something else? Side note, yeah.
Might be a simulation.
We'll dive into that some other episode, but something interesting.
With the weather, I feel like, it can be manipulated. And as people, we're not aware of how much power the government really has.
Yeah.
You know, we just think we just vote for these people in office and that's it.
Yeah.
And when I say the government, I'm not only talking about the government like South Africa, Ramaphosa and stuff like that. I'm also talking about internationally. Because that's where the real power lies.
True, because there's powers behind the government that we see in our country. They're not governed by themselves. They're governed by others that are higher than them.
See, and even those ones also.
Exactly.
So, this thing can be manipulated. And as people really need to start having an awareness that everything that we see here and smell has been put in place for a specific reason.
True.
From the music to the colors of certain logos to the emblems they use. These guys don't make mistakes.
Yeah.
They know, this is what their subconscious or our subconscious will see anyway when it reads a certain thing.
True.
So we need to start vibrating higher and doing research.
Exactly.
And to start learning more.
Yeah, whatever you hear, whatever you see, do research, dive deeper in understanding what that actually means. Don't just take it at face value for what it shows you to be, but understand it behind the meanings of whatever it is.
You know, it's like that thing now, so just switched it up a bit. The thing earlier, doomsday,
exactly.
The judgment day, I guess some would call it.
Yeah, a lot of people have conceptions about it. Or would say, is it a literal thing? Or is it a metaphor? Because some might say it's a metaphor for the population, that the population at some point will phase out or die out.
I mean, we had that thing back in 2012.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they said the world is going to end 2012.
Sure. They even made a movie about it, which is crazy.
But we're still here.
We're still here. We're still here. And it just goes to show with some things, don't take them as what they say it might be. Really understand the meaning behind the whole concept. Because it might be not the physical world that's ending, but in terms of population growth, maybe there's a decline somewhere.
There was this woman named Dolores something. I actually forgot her name.
Yeah.
So she was talking about that there's gonna be a split between the Earth that we know now and the new Earth, and it's gonna be a thing of vibration or mindset.
Yeah.
It's not just a thing of it's physical.
Yeah.
What's it called about your hamba manje?
True.
It's a thing of mindset and which frequency are you actually on.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't know what you think.
It goes to the concept of doomsday basically. Is it a metaphor for something, or is it in a literal sense the world is gonna end? Because personally, I think it's more of a metaphor that the population at some point will reach a new level of consciousness. As you are saying, there's energies and there's gonna be a split of vibrations basically. So for me, I think it's just a metaphor of consciousness that separates itself from other consciousness. Yeah, well. And also, in the sense of nature, what's happening in Limpopo with the floods and stuff, I think it shows with there's certain vibrations or rhythms that nature is not accepting from society.
But it's to go in there. What happened? Because I haven't seen it though.
Recently, there's been floods because of the amounts of rain that has been happening, and a lot of people are saying it's natural disasters because obviously you're gonna jump to the most simplest explanation, natural disaster, but they don't want to dive deep and understand what's causing that natural disaster. So for me personally, I think it's just the world, it's just the earth cleansing itself of these toxic energies that it's getting from society. Yeah, well.
Right, they say nature has a way of cleansing itself.
Exactly. That's why us as humans as well, we have to constantly cleanse ourselves as well. Going to the waters, oceans and seas and stuff like that, just to cleanse that energy, that bad energy.
I know water. We need to have a topic about water.
Yeah, water is a powerful energy. Yeah, powerful.
But yeah, man, I don't know. Condolences if that flood hit anyone.
Yeah.
But as you're listening, please also do research on what we've said as well. With sometimes nature cleanses itself.
Yeah.
It's in us.
It's not. Forgive us. It's not who we are. It's not our mother tongue.
Not our mother tongue.
Yeah.
But with another one, which is in a cultural fascination, right?
Yeah. For me, what I found fascinating about different cultures is the whole concept of coming of age, of rites of passages and stuff like that. And coming of age, what's your take on that?
I honestly feel like we are the first ones to do it.
Yeah.
Because if you look at Iskatsi Aboshaga, so for example, they were also practicing this thing of manhood. So I feel like every other religion, or not religion but culture took it from us.
Yeah.
Because as we say, our history is just that it's not documented. For them, it's a bit easier for them to trace it. This is where they started. But our history was actually stolen from us. Let's not say it was documented, but it was stolen from us.
And you also have to compare the documentation of those things, compare it to the actual existence of that civilization. Because that is the clear indicator of how old is this civilization compared to the documentation of
but I don't know, you told me your thoughts were that it's the rites of passage started in Japan.
According to documentation,
about that,
not my personal belief, but according to documentation, it started in Rome. Yeah, and we all know what Rome is capable of. So I wouldn't really take that as a fact. So for me, I would have to agree with you. It started in Africa. Africans started a lot of things that were not documented. And because of that lost information, it made way for misinformation to come about.
And honestly speaking, I feel like as the viewer must realize that not every culture, according to my knowledge anyway,
Yeah.
practice the rites of passage.
True.
So also you need to find out what did your culture practice,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
so that, because sometimes you find that some of your blessings are locked because you haven't done a certain thing that mkhulu wako or your great forefather did.
Yep.
You know?
True.
So in order to open new paths, you need to actually go back, do research.
Exactly. And find out your roots and what actual rites and rituals that need to be performed to you or for you as an individual in that particular tribe, lineage, or spiritual line, basically.
I think that in today's society, it's a thing of, since the Christian way came through, our parents are practicing Western lifestyle or Western cultures.
Yeah.
If ever you say, for example, now you wanna go to the initiation school, they say, nah, we don't do that here, or there's no need for it.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we're Africans, bro.
True.
Even deeper than that, we're black people, regardless of where you come from.
Yeah.
There is a certain practice that you need to do, and like I said, we see not every culture did the mini initiation school.
True.
So you just need to find yours.
Yes.
And understand how your forefathers were doing it in order for you to receive more blessings.
True. That's a fact. And also the spiritual significance of it. I think a lot of Asian and European countries don't understand the spiritual depth of it. Only Africans do. So
it's a thing of misinformation, but there's so much misinformation going around in this life. And it all begins with the mindset. Again, mixing two topics in one.
True.
It all begins with the mindset.
Yeah.
The misinformation, like things like your destiny is already defined. You can't change it. Things like where you are now is the end of you. That's it. That's all there is to you. That's misinformation.
A lot. Yeah.
Whether the moon is real or whether it's not.
And you have to allow yourself to be open to learning. Research. Yeah, it starts there. Research. Open yourself up to more knowledge. And with knowledge comes responsibility of wisdom and applying that knowledge, That's what we've taken up to do as ourselves for you guys as
we could have just had this conversation just
exactly.
chilling, but
we could have locked
put it in the camera.
We could have locked it in the archives and not share it with the world, but we took that responsibility upon ourselves to share it with you guys, open more thought-provoking conversations, and also to awaken the masses.
And on that note, I feel like for me, school in a sense is basically just made for control, because they're teaching us what they want us to be. You'd find that in most black families today, if you say you want to be an artist, you want to be a painter, you want to be a dancer, it's looked down as, but there are people within those careers that are making large amounts of money, because that's what we mostly focus on. I feel like we need to start breaking those chains.
We have to break away from the simulation. I feel like personally we're living in a matrix. So this whole simulation is a way of controlling how we perceive things, because whatever we consume is what we project.
And so, just to say, when we say matrix,
exactly,
slow motion.
Not what you see on TV.
We're talking about like a system that exists and has been put in place in order to control you, whether you realize it or not. It is there. Just like how your computer or your laptop yako is run by a system. This life also has that.
True.
Everybody is just one key on the keyboard playing their part.
That's true. And we have to be aware of certain things, Uguti. What is part of the matrix or the simulation and what is not. And as an individual, how do we break away from that? I think that's why Truth Weaves podcast is here for, is to help those who are in the simulation or the matrix learn how to break away. So we're here to learn and unlearn. Basically.
To unbecome, to become.
Exactly. Exactly. That's
You
true.
took my saying. I took it.
That's true. Yeah.
But it's true for me as well. We do live in a simulation, you know, and I've realized that there's power in the mind.
Yeah.
Your mind can actually control the simulation. It's just that they make us focus on stupid things. Let's put it directly.
Yeah. Things that don't have influence.
Yeah, I mean, you get on your phone, you see there's a trending topic about who, such and such and such. And while you're doing that, we actually don't find time to go within ourselves.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You need to find time to go within you and realize that every answer that you could possibly look for outside can be found within.
Exactly. It's similar to the chat of men and women, and men having no self-control when it comes to. I believe we shouldn't look at it as women are influencing men to have no self-control. Because self-control literally defines itself. Self, right? If I'm gonna say I don't have self-control because of such and such, it already defeats the purpose of me and my self-control. Because regardless of what's happening externally without me, it shouldn't affect my inward self-control. So regardless of how women dress or don't dress, it has nothing to do with men's self-control. Men choose to act the way they act. In a way.
No, it's the same thing with that. Like, if we look back biblically, as they say, Adam and Eve didn't have clothing.
Yeah.
Then Eve ate the apple and they realized that they're naked. Fast forward in our cultural practices, you realize that they were wearing ipeshule.
Yeah.
Our women used to not wear tops if they were a certain way.
And it was never sexualized.
You see. So
but nowadays it is. Yeah.
They've sexualized everything to a point where whenever you look at a woman as a man, you have sexual thoughts.
Yeah.
But also with things like our phones and also TV, they also influence how we think. You know?
True. It goes back to the chat of the matrix and the simulation that we're living in. I think the most influence comes from that. Whatever we consume from TVs, you know, and videos and movies, basically, that's what gives us the mindset of sexualizing things.
And also, it's like we must get to a point where we start realizing the things that influence us as a people. You know? A lot of times we think that we have a strong mindset or your own thoughts are yours. But then everything you have ever heard in your life, ever seen, ever touched, ever smelled, also influences how you think.
True.
You know? From what they were telling you as usakula, if you wanted something, bakshaya, but we don't have enough money, or you're not special, stuff like that. As you grow up, whenever my nasong get in a store and you want to buy something, even if you might have the money, part of you is like, but as a child they told me this is a bit too expensive, let me just leave it, you know.
True.
So with the sexual chat, you know, as much as we may say that women need to stop revealing a lot, you know, wearing short dresses and stuff like that, and at the same time women might fight back and say but men need to have self-control. It's mostly about everyone going within themselves. Exactly. You know, and doing research on, before we started having this Western mentality of everything needs to be sexualized, you know, how exactly were we living? Because even nowadays, women dress short or inappropriately by purpose because they want to attract attention. And some also dress like that because that's how they feel. They want to be free. You know, so we can't hold that against them. So as you said, Uti, this thing begins with self.
True.
As a man, as a cheetah. Just go within your own self and stop sexualizing everything.
Exactly, because whatever you consume, be it porn, be it movies, be it whatever you read, whatever you consume mentally, it's what you project. So that becomes your reality. So if you're gonna consume a lot of porn, that's what you're gonna project, and that's going to be your reality. You're gonna sexualize everything.
So we're just sitting now, you wanna go to the bathroom,
you know.
This guy's going to the bathroom 3 times today, what's going on? and he's busy there, he's rolling dice.
Yeah. And that's where the simulation comes into play. With how do we break away from the simulation? Is watching what you think, watching what you consume, also watching what you listen to or read, because all of that can influence your reality in a negative light or positive light. So,
and also the simulation chat before we move on.
yeah,
Some might not believe it's there.
yeah,
Please just do your research. But now I want us to talk about love, actually.
okay,
We'll see what is love in a sense. Because sometimes you find that as people are dating and it's all about you, all about you.
yeah,
But then, my definition of love as indoda, now definition yakho as umfazi may not be the same, even though we are together.
yeah,
And I've seen it a lot of times where now, for example, a man might realize that love for him, it's maybe, let's say, sacrifice, and for a woman, it's mostly attention.
yeah.
So I don't know, is it a thing of love should be narrowed down to one definition, or vele yahluka for wonke umuntu?
It shouldn't be narrowed down because it's diverse within itself. It can be defined as an action, can be defined as a decision, can be defined as a thought or an emotion. So it cannot be narrowed down to a specific thing. So it's left to interpretation, for individual interpretation.
Okay, now I get it.
Personally, that's what I think. Yeah.
So everybody can experience love
And
in their own
express
way.
it. Yeah.
And in-
Experience
yeah.
and express it in their own way.
So yeah, if you are joling there, just make sure you communicate with your partner and
Yeah.
get to understand. Because I had a conversation with this other guy who's been married, I think for like 5 years or something. But only recently, him and his wife asked each other the question, would see, what's love actually to you? What does it mean to you? Like I say, sometimes as a man, for me, it might be sacrifice.
Yeah.
But I need to sacrifice my time and or I need to look after you.
Yeah.
But for a woman, it also might be attention, for example.
True.
That when you are busy there working all the time,
For
she's
me,
not feeling the love.
Personally, it can be anything, but also nothing at the same time, because it's left for personal interpretation. The individual interprets what love is according to that specific moment and that specific time.
I know.
Yeah.
So yeah, please do more research. You just don't know what's
You
love.
just don't understand how they
Yeah.
express it. Yeah, because your interpretation is different to theirs.
That's very true.
Yeah.
But just to, I don't know, should we keep it going? Let's make it 30 minutes for this episode.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that.
Still on the topic of love anyway. So
Yeah.
we're still gonna do another episode speaking on more about this Valentine's Day thing and where it actually came from and what it is. Because a lot of times, like we said before, we just celebrate these holidays without actually doing research on where they came from.
Yeah, true. We, as people, we need to research what we celebrate or what we partake in. Just don't follow blindly.
And I think also a lot of, because I was thinking about this, Wuti, nowadays as guys, we do sexualize everything. Because like we said, also influences of porn, Nini TV, and all of these other things. It's gotten to a point where whenever we get into a relationship, we want to be intimate with a girl. There was this other girl I was talking to, so she goes to
Okay.
basically, and she recently dated a guy. Mile outlayer left her
Yeah.
because she didn't want to be intimate. He couldn't wait.
Yeah.
And she was like, you know what, I understand that since I'm gonna be going to listen to Les, the guy might find someone else on the side.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the guy just couldn't wait and be like, you know what, I'm still gonna stick with you. So my point being, I feel like we neglect the emotional connection these days.
True.
To a point where we just focus on the sexual pleasures.
Yeah. A lot. Especially in terms of relationships. I think we have a misconception, or we losing the meaning of what a relationship actually is, and we sexualize everything. So that's the problem with the influence that we're getting from society.
Very true. I feel like, hey man, if you feel like you don't want to be emotionally connected, tell us straight, bro. I'm gonna feel just like tell us straight up. Yeah, I'm not ready for this or that. You know, you can be your side, whatever.
Yeah.
Because now this thing of using girls, it also creates trauma.
Yeah.
To a point where whenever she finds the so-called right guy, he has to help her heal from all of it. And sometimes that can't even happen because she doesn't even allow him to that point.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So as guys, we must also realize the level of trauma that we cause in these girls.
True. Speaking of trauma, I heard that when a person dies and they die with that trauma, it manifests itself in their, well, not really offspring, but in the generations that follow after the person's death. What's your take? What happens? What do you think happens after death?
Yeah, no, after death, that's an interesting one. But for me, I feel like we're just recycling souls on this earth, bro.
Yeah.
Like Ibrahim Lapi would say, I got okay one bill wafa and came back and called us and said, this is what happens.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So we mostly going off theories, my theory, but like I said before, what if some of them are true?
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
But I think that we're just recycling souls. You know, we all signed a contract to come to this earth. You know, some people are here to help out, raise the vibration to a certain level.
Yeah.
Some are just here to mess things up. But I just feel like it just recycles. You know, whether when you die, you come back in another body.
Yeah.
Because I feel like for you, in order to get to a point where you are a human being, your cycle started somewhere. You might have started as an animal.
True.
One. And then now your vibration rose to a point where you manifested yourself as a human.
So that vibration could possibly trigger a certain subconscious. Different to what an animal subconscious is, you developed a different subconscious that's more advanced that it made you a human.
That's my point. So I don't know if at a certain point do you raise your vibration to a point where you no longer come back as a recycled soul and you raise to the higher one that we're not aware of currently.
Okay.
But so far with my knowledge I know that we're just recycling. What's your thoughts?
No, that's true. I agree with that. Is that reincarnation is a real thing and there's evidence of that. But as much as there's evidence of it, it's all left to personal truth, with what resonates with your ideology of what happens after death. Because for me personally, yes, there's evidence, also research on what birthmarks actually represent and what they mean. To me, it